Cap.
We neglected to play this clip earlier, and it is important that we give Bloomberg's perspective on this stop and frisk affair shake. This is clip number 7, because he is not without defenders, and I want to be clear about this, because it would be unfair if I did not suggest that there weren't defenders of stop and frisk.
Locking in the Democratic primary.
Here we go. Here is Ben Shapiro, who will explain to all of you why stop and frisk, a policy which at its height had over 2,000 stop and frisks a day in probably what amounted to a 1 square mile area. The predominant amount of those took place there, undoubtedly. And came up with about 800 guns over the year. 2,000 a day for a year, stop and frisks. More than 2,000, actually. And coming up with 819 guns. And here's Ben Shapiro to explain to you why that's not racist.
That is 100% true. He's getting ripped up for this, right? How could he say this? What he just said on a factual basis is 100% true. On the basis of crime statistics, if you were just to compare crime reports to numbers of stops and frisks, what you see is that Black and Hispanic suspects are being pulled over less frequently than they are charged in terms of the in terms of the general crime statistics. So Bloomberg's getting ripped up and down, and presumably Bloomberg is going to come out and apologize. Now, if he had any stones, Bloomberg would say, listen, my policies helped save literally thousands of Black and Hispanic lives in New York City. Proactive policing saves lives. If you want to lower crime rates, and that disproportionately affects people who are living in minority communities, which are high crime areas, if you want to increase the economic growth in those areas, you need more policing, not less. And this is why I've been very much questioning the criminal justice reform proposals of the Trump administration. I'm not sure that letting more criminals out onto the streets is a solution to the investment and growth problems in minority areas of the country. Right? The going concern has been that there are too many Black men in prison, that if they go back, they're going to go back to their kids, they're going to go back to their girlfriends or spouses, they're going to form nuclear families, they're going to be part of the rebuilding of the social fabric in these areas. That may be true for some, but a lot of these people are going to be recidivists, and then they're going to increase the crime rates in these particular communities. The fact is, one of the great miraculous stories of the last half century in the United States is the lowering crime rate between 1994 and 2015. To blow that on the basis of political correctness seems weird to me. And
you know, he's almost there. Like, he gets like there's been a miraculous drop in crime that started in 1994. Thereabouts, actually started a little bit earlier than that, which was, coincidentally, 22 years after broadly, I mean, more or less, certain areas, the regulations that ended leaded gasoline. Now, we know, we can look at Flint, Michigan. We know we have sadly, a horrific little experiment there. What happens to children when they are exposed to lead? Well, we have 56% rise over the course of the past 5 or 6 years in the number of special needs kids because of their lead poisoning. Lead poisoning is lead is a neurotoxin. Here are the crime rates dropping from.
It starts in 93.
I can't see.
93 to 2015.
Yeah, they're there. They drop precipitously. Now, stop and frisk ends 5 years ago. No change in crime. Ben Shapiro's talking out of his arse.
He doesn't have
what he says, like,
he doesn't have the stones to admit it.
Even when you break down what he says, you can tell he has no idea what he's like. Relative to the general crime statistics, what? What are you talking about?
Stop and frisk, you can see, starts up significantly into that precipitous drop and doesn't really have an effect on it.
Ben does do a lot of high school debate. I don't know what I'm talking about, filler.
General crime statistics. You can see that it's clearly, and first of all, he's lying. To the extent that I can decipher what he's saying, it's not true.